What's up, everybody? Cigar Sharper Laird Mayhew back with another cigar review. Today I've got the American by J.C. Newman in Toro. Stay tuned.
I can smoke stogies in my house. First of all, because her father introduced me to stogies, and second of all, because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
All right. Welcome back to another cigar review here at Cigar Sherpa. I, of course, am your host, Laird Mayhew, and today I've got a cigar that I waited a long time for. I want to say that I waited 22 years for it, but realistically, it was about 2 years when I started reading articles and seeing mention of an all-American made cigar. Okay, and when I say all-American made, I mean the tobacco, the bands, the cellophane, the boxes, the packaging, rolled, everything in America. Okay, but what intrigues me the most about it is not the fact that it's made in America, it's the fact that it's made with all American grown tobaccos. Okay, this is something that I used to think about all the time back in, the late 90s and early 2000s. Especially where I'm from in North Carolina, we grow tobacco. It grows everywhere, all the way from Florida all the way up the East Coast. We grow tobacco. And I was always wondering, why we didn't have cigar. I know we pipe tobacco, cigarette tobacco, mainly in the area that I'm in, but could it be done? And, of course, I didn't grow up on no farm, so it was well out of my bounds to even try it, but it always intrigued me. So when I heard about this, I was very, very intrigued, and I waited and waited and waited. And I finally got my hands on one about 3 months ago. I guess they were released in limited supply. I picked up a Robusto size one and I smoked it and I liked it. It was a good cigar, and when we, here in the review channel, I wanted to review it, so I picked up a Toro the other day, and here we go. We're gonna go ahead and check this thing out. So it has got a Florida sun-grown wrapper on it. Okay. If you're familiar with the FSG from Drew Estates, I believe, and there's other cigars out there, I'm just not real familiar with the Florida sun-grown. So, I hear it's got a distinct flavor, so that may throw my review off a little bit. May not know, what some of the nuances are, but, I'll tell it as best as I can. Let's see. So it's got a Connecticut broadleaf binder. It's got Pennsylvania fillers along with Connecticut Habano fillers. And best I could find was the Pennsylvania fillers coming off Amish Farm there in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's got good tobacco, especially the Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper. I'm a big fan of that. So the wrapper is not as dark as like what I've seen. Okay, I mean it's muddled wrapper, so it's got some like marbling in it, like dark. I don't know if you can kind of see that. It's toothy. Mine's almost kind of like a reddish, almost like a rosado. It's got like a reddish hue to it. But the pictures that I've seen of it were really dark, and I don't know, maybe it was just for pictures. But yeah, so it's got a triple cap on it. It's constructed really nice, and from what I understand, there's only, maybe not now, but there was only 2 guys actually rolling this cigar. Okay, and we hear a lot of talk about boutique cigars. This is about as boutique a cigar that I think you can get, being that it is such small supply. The tobaccos that are used, they're not grown in big supply. So if you can come across these, you should pick one up and try it. If not for the simple fact to say you have, because I think it's the first time. Well, it's the first time that I can remember in 22 years that anything besides the wrappers coming out of the United States, besides, the Kentucky Fire Care, I think had some Virginia tobacco in it, but an all-American tobacco cigar, I'm really looking forward to it. So, triple cap, it's got like a sweet, kind of like a barnyard smell, hay. It's kind of musty smelling. I mean, it's got a good smell. It's going to smell like it's going to be a great cigar. So I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a cut in the light. I'm going to come back and tell you what I think about it. Stay tuned. All right. So I went with the V cut. This is 6-inch by 54 ring gauge Toro. So I don't know. Felt like a V cut might do it some justice. Soft flame lit because my AK-47 lighter is out of fluid and I don't have any replacement fluid. So anyway, right off the bat, it's woody. I don't know. Is that cedar? There's some spice on there, like a dry cinnamon. Ooh, there's some pepper in the retrohale. It's a light pepper. I want to say white pepper, but I'm not really familiar with what the difference between white and black pepper is. It's peppery, but it's not. It's not as harsh as like a black pepper. So it's just a light pepper, is what I'll call it. So it's got some. Right off the bat, it's got some. It's like, I don't know if it's cedar wood, but it's got a woody, cinnamon-like spice to it, and it's got a little bit of slight pepper on the retrohale. Yeah. The smoke's pretty thin, but it's very flavorful. It's very full, but the smoke is thin. So let me let this thing develop into the first third, and I'll come back and tell you what I think about it. Stay tuned. All right, all right, all right. We're about just at 10 minutes into this thing. It's burning slow. It's burning pretty good. It looks like it's gonna run a little bit right there, so I'm gonna take it easy. But I'm gonna tell you what, I am blown away. Now, I did smoke this cigar in Robusto about 3 or 4 months ago. I want to say 4 months ago. It was still in the summertime. But I don't really remember it. I remember smoking it, and I remember it being, on the medium to full side. It's a real mellow cigar, but I don't remember the spice, the cinnamon spice that was on it. And I'm getting that, it's like cedary wood-ish that I can't really pin down. And I'm going to say that that's probably that distinct Florida sun-grown wrapper flavor that I've heard about. Again, I've only smoked one of the Florida sun-growns from Drew Estates a while ago, and I think I was, I wasn't paying attention to the cigar as much as I was paying attention to what was going on. I was smoking. I remember it being a good cigar, but the cigar's got a lot of flavor. So along with that woody, cedary flavor, it does have that cinnamon on there. It's got a very dry pepper that is in the retrohale, and it's in the palate slightly. The smoke is now getting a little creamy. And it's picking up a leathery tone now, like a very good smooth leather, and the smoke is just now starting to get sweet. So, and I tell you what, I'm very impressed with this thing. It's, like I said, it's a J.C. Newman cigar, which, of course, if you study cigars a little bit, you know that the J.C. Newman factory is the oldest cigar factory in the United States. They've been around for a while. The band is pretty cool. I don't really, looks like I don't know. You can look at it. I know it's got the American seal there. Looks like a tobacco flower, and it's got the shield, and then it looks like the Puerto Rican flag, the flag of Puerto Rico. I could be wrong there, but that's what it looks like. I don't know why they would include that on there. Maybe there's part of the history with J.C. Newman that I don't know about. It says Tampa, Florida on the side. It's very retro looking. It looks like something that would have been around in the 30s or the 40s. It's got that gold leafing. It's very nice. And the cigar is just beautifully rolled. I mean, it's packed perfectly. It's not soft, but it's not hard. It's just perfect. So as far as boutique cigars go, like I said it before, this is probably about as boutique as you're going to get. And the blender's just, I was going to try to make this like a 10-minute review, but this is definitely going to go over 10 minutes because that flavor is transitioning. Now I'm getting a really good leather along with the creamy smoke, along with that cinnamon and that light pepper and that cedary taste. So anyway, I'm going to sit back and enjoy this thing, and I will be back when I am into the second third. I'm going to tell you how it's developed and what I think about it. Stay tuned. All right. 30 minutes in, and we are just getting into we're into the second third. We're not quite to the halfway point, but I had to kind of bust in there because I'm smoking this thing. It's been like 20 minutes, and the flavor's shifting, and they're only getting better, okay? This is a damn good cigar, okay? And it better be at $19 for this stick, okay? I think the Robusto is like $17, so it's a very expensive cigar, and, most likely due to the fact that it's all made in America, labor is expensive here. So let's see where we're at here. So we had that sweet cedary flavor. I'm just going to call it cedar. It's not quite cedar like I'm used to. It's probably that Florida sun-grown flavor on that wrapper. It's very, very delicious. Okay, it has that cinnamon note that is there. It's pretty prominent for me. It reminds me a lot of the cinnamon note that I get on the La Gloria Cubana, the classic blend, the big one, not the Churchill, the Corona Gordo. Okay, it's got that very good cinnamon note. And it's got a very, very sweet, creamy smoke. This is very good, okay? It's got a leathery note. I mean, there's so many flavors that it's hard to like pinpoint, but the main flavor that I'm getting is the Florida sun-grown flavor. I'm going to switch to calling it that. And the cinnamon, okay? It's got a sweet note. It's like a musty earth, okay? It's earthy. I forgot to mention that before because it just gets lost in the sauce with all the flavors going on here. It's got that musty earth, and it's got a pepper, like a light pepper, okay? It's on the retrohale. It's very flavorful. Every draw of this cigar is enjoyable, okay? I would love to smoke this every day. I would smoke it every day if I could afford it. I mean, it is America, baby. That's all I can say is America. I mean, I'm really enjoying this cigar. I don't want to put it out. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. I had to take it. But anyway, yep, I don't know what else I can say about it except for, it's the flavors it started with, they're still there, and they just keep developing and getting a little bit more rich. I want to say it's a full-flavored cigar. The strength is probably on the medium side, but the flavors are very full-flavored. Yeah, so that chocolate note is really coming in. That cinnamon spice is kind of fading to the back now. But like I said, I'm about just at the halfway point. I'll come back in the last third and tell you how it's developed from there. Stay tuned. All right. We are in the final third, just coming in. Yeah, we're about in the final third there. And I got a little bit of a wrapper issue there when I took the band off. It was kind of stuck and kind of peeled it off a little bit, but it's not inhibiting the smoke at all. This is a very, very good cigar. Here in the last third of the cigar, it's picking up a bready note to it. And what I mean by that is it reminds me of like one of those heavy cinnamon nut bread muffins. Okay, it's very, very thick, creamy smoke. It's got a very spicy, peppery flavor. It's got a chocolatiness to it. I mean, cedar, cinnamon, earth, leather, pepper, all with that sweetness. It's blowing my palate away. This is probably a little bit of a higher caliber of a cigar for my palate to be able to convey to you, is the way I feel right now, because I'm like, my senses are going crazy. I'm like, is that cinnamon? Is that chocolate? It's just everything. And I tell you what, it's a very elegant cigar, but in a John Wayne type of way. I mean, the wrapper is just rugged. It's toothy. It's leathery. It's just got a good feel to it, but it's a very elegant smoke. I mean, it burns good. The smoke is nice and cool. There's a ton of it, So definitely one of my top cigars now. And like I said, I can't put it on the daily arsenal, and I can't recommend it as a daily arsenal because, you'd be smoking $60 worth of cigars every day. And if you can do that, well, then I need to get in your business. I'm going to quit my job and come work for you if you can do that. But I'm definitely going to buy a box of these, okay? And the reason why I'm going to buy a box of them, because as I'm thinking about it, I don't hear a lot about it, and I don't know anybody else that has tried it. When I first got my hands on it, I was excited about it, but a lot of people are like, oh, they didn't really know too much about it. So, and it's a very limited run cigar from what I understand, so I'm going to definitely buy a box just so I can have it on hand, and I'll probably pull one out every special occasion, every month or so. I say that when I get a box, the first like 10, I burn through them, and then I got to start saving from there, but Definitely a box-worthy cigar. Definitely belongs in your collection because it's so unique, being that it's all American tobacco. And I tell you what, to the folks at JC Newman, if anybody catches this review or any of it, man, if you could take this blend and get it made down in South America and get a little bit more affordable, I would love to add this to my daily smoking list. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the review now. I'm gonna smoke this thing on down until it gets hot and I just can't smoke it no more. But again, great cigar, all American made. It's the American by J.C. Newman, and I am smoking the Toro, which is a 6-inch cigar by 54 ring gauge. And get your hands on it. So, Cigar Stripper Laird Mayhew reminding you to be polite to everybody that you meet, but always have a backup plan in case you got to shoot them in the face. America.